You know what? I'm actually gonna, because Dash wants to, he's been itching to say something. He's been in the comments and all of that. So, you know what? Let me put it over to you first. Dash, what sort of window do you think Man United had?
First and foremost, my conclusion is you guys have gone under the radar in terms of how poor your window. Wow.
No.
I'm gonna say, listen.
Poor.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's been a great window.
Man United's window. Yeah. Whilst it ain't been as good as Arsenal, Spurs, and Man City. Yeah. I totally disagree with the fact that it's a poor window, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. But then you say that, this is what I'm talking about, the links. We're linked with friggin' every single player out there. Are we really honestly linked in? Mandzukic and Llorente. Seriously? And I think that we've strengthened in the area that we needed to strengthen most. I think that there's goals in Martial. I think there's goals in Rashford. Because everybody goes on past. It's like players don't improve. Yeah. It's like players can't improve. It's like Sterling was okay one season and then he didn't become great. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's happening, people? So we're back now on part 2 of episode 5 of Everyone's a Pundit, and previously we was talking about these guys' teams' windows, and the analysis and the conclusion was that they had really, really good windows. Yeah. So as you all know me by now, being the United fan, we're gonna get into some United talk now. You know what? I'm actually gonna, because Dash wants to, he's been itching to say something. He's been in the comments and all of that. So, you know what? Let me put it over to you first. Dash, what sort of window do you think Man United had?
First and foremost, my conclusion is you guys have gone under the radar in terms of how poor your window. Wow.
No.
I'm gonna say, listen.
Poor.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's been a great window.
Go on.
I don't think it's been a great window. Personally, I feel like you got rid of Lukaku and you've not replaced him. I just don't feel like, no matter how bad people feel Lukaku is, he's goals. Goals win you games. That's a large chunk of goals. Like you got to think about it. Like Kane, Lukaku,
I'm listening.
Vardy's, your Agueros. These are top strikers, and he, he's been at several clubs and he scores goals. Yeah. If you was gonna replace him, then I'd say, all right, cool. There's intent there. You're losing that kind of goal caliber. That's not good enough for me. Midfield, you ain't really strengthened with the prospect of Pogba possibly. Maybe not now, but soon to be leaving.
Pogba's not going this season.
He's not going to go this season, but he's
So we're talking about this season's window.
So we're saying that I feel like he's shaky, and come January, it could be a case where it's just like his head is gone again, and you ain't got no one there that's really, that's going to be able to carry the team as well. You know what I mean? If he slips or whatnot. Defensive wise, I would say you got it. Maguire and Wan-Bissaka are two big signings there. So for me, I feel like in terms of where you have not strengthened it is up front and midfield.
Okay, so under the radar of how poor our window has been. Sweet Pete, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think that in the midfield you definitely should have got another creative player. I definitely feel you're missing a trick there because everything goes through Pogba. Pogba's fantastic. He's one of my favourite players, but if he's not on song, or like Dash is saying, if his head's turned and he really wants the down tools, he hasn't done that so far. You see the difference
as soon as he perked up.
No. Don't say you see. So don't try and say you see the difference about
Pogba. What I'm saying is that when Mourinho's gone, and Ollie's coming, he's perked up.
Not he's perked up.
The team,
the whole team. Because there's obviously
he's your top goal scorer.
No. So you can't then turn around and say that. So you can't then turn around and say that he perked up. Everybody stepped up their game in that period. Everybody stepped up their game. Everybody stepped up their game.
As soon as Pogba stepped up, the whole team steps up.
Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that one man is like, I'm gonna step up now, and everybody.
A lot of teams do have that one guy.
All of the boys, because I'll tell you what, even in the first few games, one of the biggest things that I saw was Matic running forward and playing forward passes. Okay. This is what I'm saying, is a player like Matic, who you probably would never have noticed the difference in his performances after Oli. Now, a lot of people said that it's too short a time for Oli to really come in and impact any tactical changes.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
So what he's come in and done is just probably said to them in the thing, look, it weren't working before under Jose. I'm giving you express to go and play yourself. Martial, express yourself. Rashford, express yourself. Matic, look, this is the way we're going to play. You express yourself as well. And then everything changed from every single player. It wasn't, so I'm not gonna buy this about Pogba stepped up. He was down in tools before. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But you know what?
You go.
Man United's window, yeah. Whilst it ain't been as good as Arsenal, Spurs, and Man City, yeah. I totally disagree with the fact that it's a poor window, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because after last season, Manchester United needed to sort the defence. Yeah, and I've had a look at last season, and I knew this anyway, but I've had battles in bare groups, so I've got my things ready. Yeah, I've got my things ready. Last season, yeah, Man United, and this is in the team that were underperforming for half of the season. You can call it 3/4 of the season because it was half and the end of the season. So we only performed in basically a quarter of the season. We scored as many goals practically as Spurs and as Chelsea. We conceded 54 goals. Yeah. Where Spurs, I think, was about 39 and Chelsea 39. And Chelsea were in and around that as well. Yeah. Now we were nowhere near City and Liverpool, where they scored bare goals and conceded nothing. Yeah. You lot scored bare goals and conceded loads, and that's why you didn't finish in the top 4. So I'm like, you know what? Next season, we are not going to catch Liverpool and City. It's not going to happen. We're not in that pond. We're not in that fight. Our fight is top 4, and there's 1 or 2 teams that we're battling for that, yeah? So I'm like, we need to address the defence situation. Yeah. And that's exactly what we've done. We now have I won't say arguably, we've got one of the best defences now in the top 6 and in the league, because we've got Wan-Bissaka, and I've told you, man, well, not you, I've told a few, man, that Trent's going to get found out this season. You saw yesterday in their game, defensively he's poor. Aaron Wan-Bissaka brings a totally different vibe now, because he's upgraded us massively. Now, whatever you think about Maguire, you're going to see anyway. And I don't think that he's going to have an impact like he did with VVD's had with Liverpool.
The comparison here.
Yeah, because Liverpool, because they've got everyman around them, everything came into that pot. Yeah. When I talk about him having an impact, I think he's going to have a great impact on us defensively. We half them goals, and I expect more clean sheets this season. We half them goals, we're going to be up there. And the reason why I say this, when you're talking about Lukaku and not replacing him, there's a reason, why we've not replaced him. Because Oli believes in the youth, man like Mason Greenwood. We all sit here as pundits, you know, in our armchairs and in our groups and everything, talking about the youth. Yeah. Chelsea are bad because they got this youth playing, they loan him out. And then when you got youth that want to come through, you then talk about that we're meant to directly replace the player and not give the youth a chance.
I'm just saying in the sense of the goals that's missing. You don't appreciate the goals. Don't look at just Lukaku, because Lukaku gets dissed all the time. Yeah. So many memes, so many videos.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, my one is to lose that amount of goals from your team, or the possibility of those goals, is a big deal. Yeah. To go 38 games in a season.
So I'll get onto this as well. And anybody that knows me will know that I've been talking this talk since last season, yeah? That we got players playing out of position. And I'm talking about players like Martial and Rashford, who are not wingers, they're strikers, yeah? And I talked on the show before about Martial being he's been statistically the most clinical striker last season in terms of his shots and his goals. Now, and he's been given the number 9, he's been given his number 9 shirt back. This is what Ollie's looking to work with. He's saying to these guys, you don't want to play up front?
Go and show me.
Now it's your time. I'm believing in you. It's time for you to go and show. Now, all it then says is that whether you guys and other fans think if they're good enough. But then that doesn't mean that we've had a poor window. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is letting come on, these are we're not gonna let Lukaku go and just be like, he's got a plan.
Well, you wanted to bring someone in.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, you know what?
United were a lot of different options.
Yeah.
So
But then you say that. This is what I'm talking about. The links. We're linked with frigging every single player out there. Are we really honestly linked in? Mandzukic, and Llorente, and Llorente. Seriously?
the lamppost.
So this is what I'm saying. So we're linked with these people. Are we really linked with these people? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that we were in for Mandzukic because the way that...
You was.
No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. The way that Oli wants to play, it's just another Lukaku. That's the reason why Lukaku was surplus to requirements. We're not looking to play that way of football.
I don't know. I just think I hear what you're saying, Semps. I hear what you're saying. I just think over the course of a season, it's a lot to ask.
Thank you.
And
That's
especially if
a lot to ask. Go on.
Rashford or Martial get injured, and they are youngsters and they do pick up injuries.
Yeah.
They're not always playing 38 games. They will have injuries as well.
Yeah.
Then who you got? That's the problem.
So, again, we've still got Sanchez.
Yeah.
We've still got Sanchez. And look. You know what? This you're gonna laugh.
Oh my God!
Yeah. With Sanchez,
Piano man.
Yeah. With Sanchez, he's been poor. He's still here though. We ain't got rid of it.
We can't shift Ozil. You can't shift it.
Exactly.
Like 600 a week.
But we're talking about you lot are talking about backups now. If we need to lean on a backup. Sanchez, we've got Sanchez. Do you know what I'm saying? And we've got Mason Greenwood to come through.
I rate Greenwood, and I think he's gonna have a good season, and I think he's gonna. But it's like,
one thing I would just say. I think maybe I'm thinking to myself like, this is United. Obviously, you're meant to be up at a top height and stuff like that, and just that power player that you just needed. I don't know. Maybe from the transfer window was just missing a bit, but as you explained. Oli might have his own way.
What I think has happened as well is we're linked with loads of people, and we've only got in. And I'm going to say too is everybody's forgetting that we actually signed Daniel James as well because But then other teams have signed players similar to that, but because he's Daniel James from the Championship, it's like he's a nobody. Do you know what I mean? He's a player that we need that's going to develop, and he's an attacking option. Yeah. We brought him in as an attacking option, so we ain't. Totally done nothing there. The midfielder, I ain't gonna lie to you and say that I didn't want a midfielder. I thought Bruno Fernandes was coming. I thought the deal, and this is what I'm talking about. These same people that have said all of these other things.
Well, you also said link with Fernandes.
We put in 3 bids according to all the things, but the last bid they wanted 70 million straight, and they said they would let him go. Our last bid allegedly was 60 million. And they said no. So
this is what I'm saying. He was meant to be coming. He was done dusted, and I was looking Bruno Fernandes, and it didn't happen. But I'm like, you know what? It's time for these players to step up. I'm not gonna rate our window and say we had a great window. I think we had a 6 window. I think 6 out of 10 because another midfielder would have taken us to around about 8, and I think that we've strengthened in the area that we needed to strengthen most. I think that there's goals in Martial. I think there's goals in Rashford because everybody goes on past. It's like players don't improve. It's like players can't improve. It's like Sterling was okay one season and then he didn't become great. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these things can happen.
It's going to be a lot for Rashford this season though. It's going to be a lot because... No, I mean in a sense, and hear me out.
Yeah, I'm listening, Dash. I'm listening.
Now being considered the number 1 striker and the games that...
But you're saying that. What about Martial is probably going to be the number?
I'm just talking about Rashford that because in terms of his development, because you said that players can improve. So this is his season now to be when you're in front of goal. Those chances are hitting the keeper going wide need to be going in now. So those crucial games where a striker needs to be prolific. This is Rashford's season,
and this is it. But every player needs that season, though, isn't it? Dash. You need to be given the opportunity, and you need to try and prove yourself. Now, it could all come out that Oli was wrong. These players aren't good enough, as some people think. I believe in these players. They're good players, and in pre-season, Rashford's been tucking them away.
I'm speaking for myself and for Dash here. I don't think we definitely know these players are good enough But I just think over the course of a season, you sold yourself just that little bit short.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. And
I think if we was going for the title, we're agreeing.
Yeah. So I think just that. I think that's where you missed the trick.
Yeah.
You've got a very good team, very good squad, but I just think letting Lukaku go, and then also not, like you said, not bringing in a Fernandes or possibly an Eriksen or somebody that can just pull the strings and help Pogba a little bit out. That's why I think you missed that.
The midfield one, there's no denying. I can't sit here and be like, I'm not upset that we didn't. But I believe in the boys. The Lukaku thing, I'm just not. Okay, I'm not worried about that, because last season, in our formation, either Rashford or Martial wouldn't play. You know what I'm saying? So Lukaku out, one of them in. That's what I'm saying. These guys is who we want to play. Yeah. Is who I want to see play. And Rashford, the jury's out on him. He's gonna have to produce now. But I don't think it's under the radar or poor. I'm not gonna have that. It was we done well. And the thing is if we done our business earlier than everybody else, yeah. If we'd have done and got Bissaka and Maguire on the last day of the season, it would be a totally different perspective that you man are talking about. It's because we had these man in, and then we're linked, and then we don't bring nobody in, and you all bring in loads of players. It's like, raw, Man United flopped, you know.
And that's how it looks.
That's how it looks.
Perception versus reality.
Yeah, man.
Because even look at us, we were bantered for not bringing in Coutinho and Dybala. But when you look at it, we still had a good window with the other guys. The perception is, you guys flopped with this and that. But it's
like us as well. If you think about it, like if we didn't get a David Luiz, although people say, David Luiz, if we didn't just get a centre back, you needed a centre back. You needed a centre back. Once we got David Luiz, it's just like, okay, maybe. So it is. I think that's why if we go back, and that's when you asked me at the beginning, you said, I felt like it was weird in that sense. I don't think anybody done amazing in the transfer window.
No, I think City did amazingly. If you actually look at it.
Well, we're gonna get onto City in the next part.
I actually agree with what you're saying there, but we'll
so they've scored, City have scored. They're 1-0 up. Anyway, a lot of you lot, if you're not a United fan, you know what? Even if you are a United fan, there's bare United fans out there that are stressing and aren't happy. Boy, there's arguments going on in my groups and all of it. Everybody, you've got people that are definitely feel like you, and there's United fans that feel like me.
I don't think it's a bad win though. I just think that
like I said, look,
maybe me saying poor. A bad choice.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying.
So I done well. I've got Dash to maybe rein it back a little bit,
It's a big man.
But what I would say is that we definitely divide an opinion, man. A lot of people think that we're gonna flop. A lot of people think we're gonna do all right. It just depends, man. That's what this is about. Everyone's a pundit. We've all got our views. And what are your views? What's your views, people? Let us know. I know you're probably itching to give us your views on United, especially if you're a Liverpool fan or Chelsea fan or Arsenal fan, and even if you're a United fan, as I said, because a lot of people are divided, man. So anyway, let us know. We're gonna come back in part 3 where we discuss Liverpool, City, and Chelsea, and then we're gonna
best of the boys as
and
well.
Then, and then we'll touch on some other teams as well. All right then, peace out.